Just imagine those days when animals were brought to the court and prosecuted. For what crime, they don't know. Even for most brutal crimes committed by children under 12 years of age, they are not prosecuted. They are not treated as criminals and are sent to rehabilitation center. Reason being, they don't understand the intensity of the deed they have committed. Police does not send a child in a regular lockup, and Juvenile Justice Board investigates the case, considering the child's maturity and understanding, and generally the outcome is pressurized rehabilitation and not punishment. Even in the most serious crimes, child is not given death penalty or life imprisonment. The goal is the child's welfare and reintegration, not punishment. The reason being, they are not that mature to understand the intensity of crime they have committed. But what about those animals who were prosecuted and sentenced to even death in medieval times? At times, the behavior of your animals may be very irritating for you. Your cats, naughty dogs, or wild horses may do something which may be very annoying for you. There are cases when, because of a horse, the horse rider is thrown out of the riding seat, proving fatal for the rider. But it was not intentional on the part of that wild horse. In the medieval times, the answer used to be yes, and the horse was given the harshest punishment and was executed. It is difficult to believe that around 13th century, animals of all sorts were criminally charged for their offences and were prosecuted. Even a penalty of death was given. Well, why it all happened? Is it madness? In 1457, some villagers from Savigny village of France saw a sow and six piglets attacking and killing a 5-year-old boy. Today, if such incident would have happened, people would have killed the animal. But in 15th century, these pigs were taken to the court for justice. This wasn't a drama, but a real case was fought. In this case, the participants were a judge, two prosecutors, 8 witnesses, and a defense attorney for the accused pig and piglets. Since these pigs had killed a boy was a reality, the case was framed. But since the piglets were not seen attacking the child directly, they were exonerated. But the pig was charged with murder and was ordered to be hanged. This case might seem bizarre to the modern world, but in medieval world, such actions were taken against pigs, cows, goats, horses and dogs. When these animals broke the law, they were subjected to the same legal proceedings as humans. In the court, they were treated as any common human being, and when found guilty, they were charged and given punishment accordingly. Some scholars are of the opinion that such animal trials may have provided the authorities an opportunity of intimidating the owners of the animals and making them aware of controlling the animals, or they will die sooner than they had expected. These trials certainly sent a stern message to the animal owners to take care of the animals and should not allow them to come between humans and cause harm to them. In modern times, putting animals on trial may seem absurd, but in medieval times, people genuinely believed that animals could commit crime, and for this, they should feel guilty and should be accountable for their crime. All this seems to have stemmed from old religious belief that animals were subject to the law like humans. Rooster laying egg or a pig trampling a child was considered a crime. From cows to goats and even insects like locusts and many species found themselves in odd position because of human customs of those days. In those days, people took animal trials seriously. Animals enjoyed all the same rights and privileges as those to humans. No animal was arrested before an official investigation. They received full trial before a judge while being defended by lawyers. The funniest part is that the domestic animals could be rounded up and captured for their crime and were brought to the court. But wild animals who could not be rounded up, a church official would march into the field where they could be found or lived and read a proclamation requesting their appearance before the court on such and such date. Easier targets for the courts or police were the ubiquitous pests that plagued the medieval life, were insects and rodents. In 1478, a plague of locusts swarmed upon the berry France like a hailstorm. All the appeals to leave went unheeded. The insects were caught and taken to the court, and when found guilty, an array of charges from trespassing to violence against the citizens were framed. In 1508, in a case of Autun, France, attorneys were appointed to fight the case for rats accused for ravaging the region's grain. The rats lost the case, and professional rat catchers were called to round them up and execute court's sentence of death. These bizarre proceedings continued until 18th century, finally faded amid the age of enlightenment. The practice of indicting animals seems absurd, merciless, yet strangely meticulous. Few cases like these are on a farm east of Paris in the spring of 1494. A child of a farmer was badly mutilated in the face and neck by a pig. The case was prosecuted by Jehan Lavoisier. Judge declared that the pig should be hanged. In 1474, a court in Basel in Switzerland sentenced a cock for laying an egg. The cock was roasted alive at Collenberg. In 1519, the Alpine community of Stelvio suffered a severe agricultural loss by the rodents. The matter was taken to the court, hence Grenebner was appointed to defend the crop-killing creatures. In 14th century, in Germany, local people of Mainz brought a prosecution against Spanish flies who were dangerous to the livestock and ruinous to the crops. The church court had to take action against these flies. This has been Facts About the World. Thank you for joining.